Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Look here. The worst part of being a guest speaker is to come when everybody just tired and don't want to hear nothing. Not true. Not true. When I come in the name of the ancestors and anybody who tries say no, them are going to deal with their own duppy tonight. You know the song go? I come me this, I come. I mean no. Come on everybody. Me say that. Me say. I mean no. One more time, me say that. I say. I mean no. Me say that. Me say that. I mean no. And then when you see so, you wheel 3 times from left, from right to left. That's all. So you burn all negative energy. Yes? Greetings, everybody. Greetings to the people who are here from Charleston. Are they still here? No. My brothers and sisters, with respect, I want us to just pause a minute and acknowledge the passing of the Colonel of Charleston, the only female among the Maroon colonels, and she passed suddenly. Can we just respectfully quiet our hearts as we acknowledge that passing? Solidarity with the Maroons of Charleston. I'm asking those who are talking if we could just have solidarity and silence on behalf of the people of Charleston. As she goes to dwell with the ancestors, may her soul rest in eternal peace and love as she lived. Amen. I want to greet them, the Maroons who are here from Scott's Hall. Are we here? Scott's Hall. Where is Colonel Latibo there? Respect. Scott's Hall in St. Mary. I want to look for a compound. They're not here. I must congratulate Colonel Curry for that bold step he did today. Not true? Not true? Let me tell you something. One of the things that I want to push forward is that black people need to constantly unite. And we are to move away from the things that divide us. We are too quick to divide among each other. Yes? And when the four Maroon chiefs are united, the Maroon community is stronger. Now, obviously, I'm going to say, let me hear it from those who are here from Moortown. No man on the sound week, then all them people turn up over this one, look over like the mountain. Let me hear it for the people from Moortown. I want to recognize the people right there who are standing looking down on us like the hills of the Blue Mountain. Respect. Moortown is the place where we are, yes? Today, we celebrate. We celebrate the character. We celebrate the personality. We celebrate the power of Granny Nanny. We are here on Nanny Day, in the middle of Heritage Week. As a matter of fact, Nanny Day is being celebrated on Heroes Day. And let me tell you a secret. I've been talking to Colonel Sterling and saying to him, we would like a national day that's totally dedicated to Nanny. When Nanny is celebrated on Heroes Day, unfortunately, we celebrate her with the other 6 heroes. You understand what I'm saying? But Paul Bogar's a day, October 11th. Sam Sharp was a day, December 27. Marcus Garvey has a day, August 17. Norman Manley has a day, July 4. Bustamante has a day, January 24. Nanny does not have a day dedicated. And I'm asking Colonel again to go in their history. This is scary. Good to see you. I need a date in Nanny's history. The day we celebrate Vasamsha is the day the war began in 1831, December 27. It does not, we just need a day. And Mrs. Carey, as an historian, if you can't find a day, make up one. No, laugh. We never hear about a make-up day yet. Tell me a make-up day where we celebrate. Christmas is a major make-up day. Jesus never born on December 25. But some people say use it, and the world we use it. So Mrs. Carey, I'm asking you to find a date for Nanny. And if you can't find a date, you see when we do it on Heroes Day, Miss Carey, she mixed up with the other six. You understand? So we don't have a day when the whole nation takes group on her alone. And she's the only female national hero. We need a day. You agree with me? Do we need a day for Nanny? All right. We must celebrate our women, right? All the wars that were fought in this country, women had a lot to do with it. But the men got the reward. The men got the acclamation. Now, I say to us, as we stand there, imagine if you were here 285 years ago. If you were here, you would have been in guerrilla warfare against the heavy British troops. You would have been warring against the infidels that came to control us. And in 1739, Nanny of the Maroons led all the people in signing a treaty with the British. Now I want to tell you something. Some Cubans came to me one year when I was working, and they said to me they want to do a film on Nanny because she's the only woman they have ever heard of at that time to have taken on leadership of a whole tribe of people. Think about it. She is a legend. She is a legend. Sometimes I say, Colonel, that International Women's Day should be Nanny Day in Jamaica as the principal woman of Jamaica. Yes, we need to celebrate our women. Our women have been responsible in this country for carrying the culture of the country. Hello, watch out. Watch out. Watch out. What do you look at them? Watch out. Hello. Hello. Hi. Blood. Hello. 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 Sorry. When you're young people, they say, sorry, can't buy Larry. But thank you. So, I want us to look at ourselves, at Jamaica at this time. I want us to realize that we need to promote unity and that it can only come through knowledge. One of the reasons why we are not united is because there's so much that we do not know and so much that we seem not to want to know. I once said in the Ministry of Education, in the Cuban system, the first thing a child learns to read and learns to write in Cuba is my name is Vincente, I am Cuban and I am proud. Can you understand what would happen if the first thing a Jamaican child learns to read or write at 3 years old is my name is Pamela, I am Jamaican and I am proud? Too many of us don't know who we are. Few members don't know our history. This country has been among the strongest countries in the world. And we have been that because the Maroons laid the foundation. And we cannot forget that. We were able to fully overcome the British and get our freedom because the Maroons over the years had weakened the British to the point where when Sanshar took over and had that war in 1831, and by the way, I want us to understand, respect sir, I want us to understand that when Sanshar War started in the hills of St. James, in Kensington, it was a woman who took a flame and she walked up to the trash house in the middle of the night and she threw the flame in the trash house and she said, I know I will die for this, but my children will be free. I know that was a woman in 1831. And because of those actions, we stand here as free people. But let us not understand that freedom did not come easy. Freedom came with people who shed their blood for us. And the last thing we need to do is to shed each other's blood. We shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be doing that. We should be living as one Jamaican family. We should be living as one family. And that is why I'm so impressed when Colonel Richard Curry, in his speech, called on the other three Maroon chiefs and said, let us come together. You remember? Have you remembered any other time in the history of Jamaica? In 1970, who is the historian here? Marcus. In 1977, I think it was, when Bob Marley, 80, when Bob Marley took Michael Manley, Edward Seaga together on a stage in the National Stadium and say, let's move for peace. We cannot have peace unless there is equal rights and justice, as said by Peter Tosh. We cannot have peace unless the people who are called to war against each other understand each other and the value of working together as one people. We cannot get there. And today, the Maroons' theme is the right to own their own land. I want to remind you that when slavery ended in 1834, the white people were given money because they did not have their so-called property anymore. The black people, the enslaved, left the plantation landless, homeless, and without any resources. In 1865, when Paul Bogle decided to war against the British governor here, Paul Bogle's slogan was liberty of person, liberty of land. Liberty of person, liberty of land. There's a reason why so many of us in Jamaica, we feel homeless and landless because we are not being given the opportunity to own a piece of this rock. The right to land that the Maroons had in their treaty. And let's understand that. The treaty was signed with a compound first in 1738. Then the treaty was signed with Mortown in 1739. That treaty allowed the Maroons to live as a people to themselves. That treaty offered the Maroon lands that they could own. And let me say this, we are living many other treaties. Has any of us here been to Canada? Are there any Canadians in the house? I'm using that because it's one big almighty place. Do you know that in 1684, when the British and the French warred, the treaty that was signed, the French says, give us Martinique, give us Guadeloupe, and you can take Canada. And so that's why Canada is British. And to this day, the French and the British honor that treaty. Treaty that was signed with our people. We need to honor it. Yes? Because it was not easy, but it happened. It happened because Nanny was a fearless warrior. And let us understand this. If the Maroons were a nation by themselves, they would have been the first republic, the first black republic. They would have been, because they moved away and freed themselves from 1738. And it was a Maroon called Dutty Bookman who left Jamaica and went to Haiti and started the Haitian Revolution. He was a Jamaican. And I want us to understand, because the reason why some of us, we just don't know our history. Do you know that the United States of America asked Jamaica to help them when they were asking them liberation from England in 1776 when they got freedom? Why do you think America celebrates Independence Day? Because like us, they used to be run by the British. And Jamaica helped them fight. And they won the war against the British. And when they won, they turned to Jamaica and they said, would you like to become a part of the United States? And the Jamaican government says, no way, we just helped you. We're bigger than you. Spanish Town was created long before New York. Spanish Town was created long before there was Washington, D.C. Do you know that when people in America wanted to know if a production would do well on Broadway, you know what they used to do? They used to take it to the Ward Theater in Jamaica. And if it ran in the ward successfully, they took it back to Broadway. This country is a history-making country. This is a land of Nanny. And because of what she has done, women in this country can stand tall. Because of Nanny, women can take their right as a liberator. And as you take care of the nation's children, we need to teach them the things they need to know. We need to teach them the things they need to know. When we come like this, and I don't plan to be up here long, when we come like this, I am challenging us. We come here with different reasons. Some people listen, some people don't. Some people talk, some people come for the music, some people come for the spectacle. But let us understand this. The spectacle can be removed. Let's understand this. The Africans were in Africa and they did not know perhaps that they could have been sold, that they could have been taken on a ship to a land that they do not know and placed in bondage. Let us understand that, because we can see ourselves many times as a land of entertainment. But let us understand that there is a responsibility within us and within our people to understand that we are more than entertainment. That when we create music, we never created reggae music just for entertainment. We created reggae music as the liberation music of the people of Jamaica and black people everywhere. And that's why Bob Marley was able to take reggae music and liberate the continent of Africa. When Marley says, all pirates, yes, they rob I, sold I to the merchant ships, but many after they took I from the bottomless pit. But my hands were made strong by the hand of the Almighty, and we forward in this generation triumphantly. Jamaicans have gone to United States. Jamaicans have gone to England. Jamaica have gone all over the world. And sometimes we build up the other place them and leave Jamaica with dry rats. Hello. We learn from history that we do not learn from history. And people who do not learn from their history will repeat it. I will say it again. People who do not learn from their history will repeat it. A very famous Jamaican entertainer said these words: when mama spend our last and send you go class, never you ever play, because it's a competitive world for low budget people spending a dime while earning a nickel. You with me? So mothers, when you send your children to school, make sure to them go. That's the first thing. After them go, make sure them learn. That's it. Yes, you can make sure. You can make sure. Because there are mothers who spend time with their children, all when they don't know your grandmother and my grandmother, all when they don't know the arithmetic when they do. They say, do your homework. That's all. And all when they want to sleep, they sit down at the table with you and watch you till you've done your homework. You don't have to know what the children know for you to mother them and help them to become somebody. Are you with me? When we come, if Nanny is looking on all of us right now, the question I ask you, would she be pleased? Would she be pleased with the way we celebrate her? Would she be pleased with the attitudes we come with? Would she be pleased knowing that the people she died for are still warring against each other? Would she? Would she believe that the people she gave her life for are taking each other's lives? Would Nanny believe that? And would Nanny think about it as simple? Let me tell you something, the Africans who came here could have opted to die. And some did. Some jumped off the slave ship into the Atlantic Ocean. There was no intention of coming here. Let me tell you, and I close with this. I had the opportunity to go to Ghana and to see the slave dungeon, Marcus. And when I saw the slave dungeon, I went in there and I saw the slave dungeon still has on the floor the excrement of people who have been there over the years. It is the first time I ever said to myself, one of my ancestors came through here. And when I stood there and saw there was no window, just a little slit where little air would come in, as our ancestors are waiting for the ship to come. And when the ship came, I was taken along the corridor to a large door where when you open the door, you come out in the Atlantic Ocean and you come out in the boat that is going to take you to big ship sailing on the ocean. And I remember when I looked at the door, you know what was written on the door? The door of no return. That's what was written on the door. I had the pleasure of carrying, while I was working, I took then Colonel Merridy Rowe, who was the colonel of a compound. I took him to Ghana so he could see where his ancestors came from. I took Colonel Wallace Sterling to Suriname so he could meet with the Suriname Maroons so he knows he's not alone in the struggle. And when I was there, I opened the door and I walked through the door of no return and I closed the door behind me and I stepped in the Atlantic Ocean and I looked out And I could imagine a ship out there. I could imagine a ship just waiting for my ancestors to take them to a place where they did not know where they were going. And then I turned back and I opened back the door and I went back inside and I locked the door behind me and I turned around and I said to the door, you are no longer the door of no return because I have returned. I have returned. Sometimes we've got to kill the curse. Sometimes we've got to kill the curse. And we cannot kill Jamaicans. We cannot kill the curse by being the kind of nation we have become. This is the land of Nanny and Samshar and Bogle and Gordon. This is the land of Bob Marley and Peter Tosh, SIZZLA KOLANJI. This is the land of Buju Banton. This is the land of Louis Bennett, of Marcia Griffiths. All of them. Ken Boone sang Freedom Street. That's all he wanted, to find himself on Freedom Street. And we have got our freedom. And we got a mighty country. Usain Bolt has single-handedly done for this world what no other person has done. Let me say something. Have you ever stopped to realize that any country we put ourselves beside as Jamaicans, we are the strongest country in the world. We are the country with the greatest heroes. We are the country with the greatest icons. We are the country in every walk of life. You give us tourism, we give you all inclusive. You give us any area of economics and we can find somebody to give you. You give us culture and we are the cultural superstate. Nobody can touch any of our artists. But guess what? We've got to be able to see all that we have done as sacred. Our people, when Marley, Peter Tosh, Dennis Brown and them people, they down at West Kingston, going in a studio and do experimentation for the music. They did not know that this music form was going to turn out the way it had.